What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? Welcome back to another pickups video. This time around I went to Dallas, Texas, and I did a whole lot of stuff and bought a whole lot more. As always, if you're just interested in the pickups, here's the timestamp for that. However, this time I did something different. I kind of vlogged the entire trip for the most part. I did forget to vlog like half of it, so it's kind of like a makeshift vlog, I guess, in a way. But that plays now. It's been a long time since we've had a little vlog, you and I. But here in a couple hours, I'm headed out to Dallas to go video game hunting. Honestly, I'm probably gonna drop at least $1,000. Today is currently Wednesday and I'm gonna be in Dallas until Sunday. So we're gonna just vlog this entire trip. This video might end up like 30 plus minutes or so, but I wanted it for the memories, and then you and I game hunting, everything in between. It's Dallas time. But first, I gotta get in my run. Honestly, my legs hurt a lot still. Don't know if I'm gonna get through the whole 6 miles. 17 is the most I've ever ran in one time, but like with training for marathons, I need to up it. I need to be able to run at least 30 miles in one go to be able to actually say, hey, I can do this and I can do it fast. 2 miles deep. My legs are butchered, but my heart rate's really low, so that's pretty good. So I guess we'll just do an easy run. Maybe not the full length I talked about, but we'll see how I feel. We went to Taco Bell to get food before we left, immediately hit the road thereafter. This is the border checkpoint when you leave El Paso to enter the United States. Honestly, it's kind of weird, but I mean right now in these times it was pretty smooth, all things considered. And then of course, go the road, I mean, oh my god, dude. The roads when you leave El Paso entering the United States, it is just so pretty, so beautiful. Now obviously I'm from the East Coast, you know, I grew up in Eastern Kentucky, Western New York area. I adore mountains and everything, but there's just something about the charm of the flatlands of Texas that just makes you think, hey, like this, there's something special about this. And then that leads us to the first game store we went, Game Exchange in Grand Prairie right outside of Dallas. Terrible. This place is terrible. I would not wish my worst enemy. I would never go to Grand Prairie ever again. So we immediately left, went to Dallas to the hotel room. The view was impeccable. I'll show you it again later here, but just looking at this and seeing the skyline at nighttime, it looked very, very cyberpunky. I honestly feel like if I were to live in Dallas, this would be someplace that I would just hang out at all the time. This specific hotel room, room 1010, it was something else. And then we went to the World Trade Center, which was also in Dallas, which was kind of weird. There was a fashion show here going on at the same time, which is why we initially went to Dallas, because my girlfriend was in it. But being an East Coaster and being in the World Trade Center, it is so surreal. Like, I knew they moved it out of New York after, I mean, obviously they had no choice, and they moved it to Dallas, but it was just so surreal to be in the World Trade. It had this really cool, like, elevator. I liked it. And then we went to the flagship Half Price Books, which is also in Dallas. The flagship sucked, so we ended up going to the little one. And then we went to this new coffee place, like Lala Banana something. It was incredible. Long wait, but incredible. Then we went to the Stonebriar Mall or Galleria Mall. I don't know which one it was, but it was awesome. There were so many stores. I got some cool things here. There was a Pop Mart for those La Boo-Boos, if you were into that. It was a really cool mall, my favorite I've been to. And then we went to Buffalo, Texas, which is so bizarre. I mean, the street's called Buffalo, but it was weird to be in Buffalo without being in Buffalo. And that brought us to the end of our time in Dallas. Unfortunately, I didn't get to stay too long, but look at this is what I mean. This skyline was so cyberpunky. Yes, it's not a New York City skyline, but it was just, man, it was pretty. I really liked it. And then it was time to leave, and I stopped at this little gas station. This gas station is ghetto. It is falling apart. It's been through a war, I swear to God. But I love stopping here because it's just so bizarre. It's just like, okay, now we're leaving Texas, entering back into El Paso. All right, we're back, and now it's time to go over the pickups. So we're gonna start with what I'm gonna say is like no real order at all, but we're gonna start with the Blu-rays that I bought, because some of you know this, some of you don't. I also collect Blu-ray movies. It's not just video games. First thing I picked up was The Great Showman, the 4K version actually, and it came from Half Price Books. It was only $10, so I was like, you know what? For that price, you can't beat it, especially since you can't buy them nowhere else anymore. I was also able to find The Great Gatsby, also at Half Price Books, only a couple dollars, and that was too good of a deal to pass up. That's a great movie that I refuse to buy digital. This might surprise you, but I've never seen the Hunger Game movies. I've seen the 2 newer ones that have came out, or the newer one that came out, Songbird or whatever it was. I saw that on a cruise in the middle of the Bahamas, but as far as like the actual Hunger Games story, I know nothing about it. So I got this once again for only a couple dollars. It came from Game Exchange, and I knew it's time to get into these movies. Speaking of movies I've never seen and saw and got at Game Exchange, the entire Harry Potter saga, all 10 movies. Now, I have seen the Fantastic Beasts movies. I have not seen the Harry Potter movies. So it's going to be kind of cool to go through and watch them and actually, 20 years later, but actually finally know why people like Harry Potter. Also, of the trend of things that everyone else has watched, but I haven't, Game of Thrones. I was able to find the entire Blu-ray set for $40 at Half Price Books. I've already tested it. Every disc worked, which blew my mind because it's like over $100 if you buy it brand new off of Amazon. So I am very, very happy to have this and finally, 10 years later, understand why everybody hates Game of Thrones Season 7. We're going to do our comics next that I picked up just because I want to save the video games for closer to the end. I got Batman Killing Time, brand new and only $15. Also from Half Price Books, it was literally half price. This is a really interesting Batman story. I've seen a lot of stuff about it online, but I've never actually read it myself. So I am so excited to dive into this. It's also lame because where I live here in El Paso, there's no culture stores anywhere. So you can't buy any of this stuff. So whenever I leave, I always buy way more than I need, especially since, I leave like once a month. Which is why these pickup videos are more frequent now. I also got Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1, the original printing of it. So obviously this isn't the original comic, it's the original Volume 1, but I want to go back and get all of Ultimate Spider-Man. If you've been watching my pickup videos recently, I have a complete run of the current Ultimate Spider-Man run from the reboot that started earlier this year, or I guess last year. And Ultimate Spider-Man, it's just my favorite Spider-Man story. It's very special to me. So now going back and doing exactly what they said, collecting the entire first run of Ultimate Spider-Man, it feels like a coming of age thing for me. I could go on eBay and I buy them all brand new right now, but I'm just going to do them as I find them out in the wild. I also was able to pick up the hardcover variant of Ta-Nehisi Coates' Captain America, and this came out in 2018. Initially, way back then, I did read it, but it was digital only, so I wanted to pick it up physically. Well, the comic itself wasn't digital only, but I read the digital version because I was still in college, and I was taking my iPad with me everywhere, so I got all my comics digitally then, which is something I still do to this day, actually. Unless it's something I really, really want, like Ultimate Spider-Man, then I'm just going to wait for the physical version and get it then, but I still tend to get the physical version of pretty much any comic I want as it comes out on volume sections. So I'm very happy to have this in the hardcover version. I need to get the rest of the run, but I'm pretty happy with it. This one, another sealed brand new comic. This one I had no idea that it existed, and it's Batman 89. So Michael Keaton is kind of regarded as one of the best Batman, and he was the final Batman in the live action universe of, I guess, the DC Snyderverse. And The Flash, he does show up. So I'm really, really happy to have this. I don't know if it follows the movie or if it's an original story. I have no idea of knowing, but I am so excited to read this. I've just recently went through and watched the Batman 89 series, or the Batman 89 movies, I guess I should say. So very excited to dive into this when I get the chance. And this is something, I tend to buy these. It's nothing special. It's the Marvel book. It's just kind of everything encompassing Marvel history, comics, who characters are, etc. I have a bunch of different ones of these for individual superheroes, but I saw this, I was like, you know what, that sounds extremely cool, and I would love to have this for just all the heroes. It's obviously, just short little snippets. It's nothing major, but I'm just happy to have this because I love comics, and this seems like something that is just too good to pass up. And then now this one, the big boy. I have waited so long to get this. It's brand new, sealed. Was less than half price for what it goes for a brand new on like Amazon or Walmart or something. I don't even know if Walmart sells it actually. But that is The Walking Dead Compendium 4. I am a giant Walking Dead fan, and I have Compendium 1, 2, 3 and the individual volumes of every single Walking Dead comic, as well as all the single issues. For the most part, there's some that I'm missing that are more expensive, but I got them all, and I'm just really happy to have this because now, after all this time, my Compendium collection is complete. Now, unfortunately, Compendium 1, 2, 3 and all my volumes, they are back on the East Coast at my grandpa's house, so I'm not going to have them here with me to be able to display all pretty on a shelf. It's going to be all alone. But once I move back to Buffalo later next year, I'll be able to have them all straight up and just beautiful and perfect and just immaculate. And now onwards to the reason why you subscribed to me in the first place. So we're gonna do this in no random order. I guess we're gonna do PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3 because that's all I picked up this trip around. I got Hypersonic Extreme, which is a racing game. It's another racing, kind of like Power Dome, kind of like, I guess, Wipeout and all that. But it's another game that I've seen YouTube videos of it. It looks incredibly fun. So I decided to finally pick it up, especially since it's only $4. It's like, that's a no-brainer. And it was complete and in pretty good condition. So I was like, you know what? We're getting that. This is mine. It's coming home with me. I also got Tony Hawk's Project 8 on the PlayStation 2. I had this game as a kid. It was one of my favorite games of all time. Unfortunately, it's just not aged very well. Now, at first, I thought it was just the next-gen version that sucked, because I also have it on Xbox 360, but then, as I was playing through this, I came to the conclusion, no, the old people were actually right. Tony Hawk's Project 8 is actually a bad game. The only variant of this game that's any good is the PSP version, at least from what stood up to this day. And that's insane because I've sunk probably thousands of hours into that game and thought it was one of the greatest games of all time. I also got Myst 3 Exile. So this type of game series right now, I'm on a very big kick on. It's just something about it. It's not super retro to the point that it's like, I don't want to play this, but it's also not modern enough to the point where it's like, okay, you can definitely tell this isn't too retro-y, because a lot of PlayStation 2 games, still to this day, other than the graphics, they feel and play in story-wise as if it had just came out today for the very first time. But this isn't. This is one of those games that is just like, you kind of got to play it to experience it. And that's all I can really say, other than it was also complete. Next up, in the end of the PlayStation 2 games that I picked up, 007 From Russia with Love. This is another game that I had as a kid that I absolutely adored, and I wanted to get it again and replay it because I'm on a big kick of buying games that I had as a kid all over again just because I want to experience them as an adult for the first time. I guess technically that's not correct because I experienced it the first time as a kid, but you know what I mean. Like, this was rated T for teen, so I'm 27 now. So if this was, 20 years ago, I would have been like the average age of the person that was actually buying this game. And now that I'm seeing this in the light, this is actually in terrible condition. I don't think the camera's gonna pick it up, but there's so much dirt and grime on this. Oh my god, how did I not notice that in the store? Because I would have never fucking bought this. Well, I guess it's getting added to the list of games I'm gonna have to buy a second time. And now onwards to the PlayStation 3 games. Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction. Now, believe it or not, I've not actually played all the Ratchet & Clanks. It was not my thing as a kid. I played all the Jacks, all the Sly Coopers, and a handful of the Ratchet & Clanks, but for whatever reason, Ratchet & Clank is just something that didn't connect with me, so I never played it, but it was in really, really good condition, complete, everything was here, so I was like, you know what, it's time to finally get it. I'm also a sucker for this PlayStation 3 box style. I am trying so hard to go through and get every game that came out with this type of box style because it's just so nostalgic to me. It reminds me of being a kid, so it's like I want to get it, you know what I mean? Another game for the PlayStation 3, Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. Now this is one of those games that I just for whatever reason never played. I have Ni no Kuni 2 on the Switch, but I never played that either. It's still sealed because there's so many games I buy and just never get a chance to play, whether it be back then because college was extremely busy because I was a STEM major, or now today because I'm an engineer and work crazy hours so I don't get to play most of my games. It's really quite depressing. But the good news is one day I'll retire and get to play everything. So hopefully I can do that before I get Alzheimer's. But anyways, this was also complete, and I thought it was just too good of a condition to pass up. So I was like, you know what, we'll get this and we'll play it when we play it. I know there's supposedly some issues with this game on the PlayStation 3 that they fixed when it came to the Switch. So I don't know what those issues are, but we'll find out together. Call of Duty Ghosts. So of those games that have came out of Call of Duty in the post-Modern Warfare 2 era, I guess kind of starting with the PlayStation 4 up until Modern Warfare got rebooted, I do think Ghost is probably the best one, and it is extremely underrated. Now, I'm obviously not going to go through play online of it right now. I probably will actually get like a match or two, but I bought this more so for the story. I've been wanting to replay the story so bad. I thought about getting it on Steam, but I'm not paying $60 for a 12-year-old Call of Duty game. Like, that's crazy. It's also complete, and it even has like the original DLC from way back then, and it's kind of interesting. I mean, there's no use for that now, but it's cool to have. So I'll probably go back through and play this probably within the next couple weeks, because it's only a short story. It's like 5 hours, it's not too long. And then another game that I somehow do not already have, and that is Haze on the PlayStation 3. So back when this came out, I remember like reviewers and stuff was saying that this is the Halo killer. This is the game that's going to take out Halo. Halo's going to be no more. Ubisoft and PlayStation are on top. And then the game came out, and then this was like one of the first major instances that led up to Gamergate 1, where everybody was like, what? No, wait, what is wrong with these reviewers? And then one thing led to another, and this ended up becoming one of the worst games of the PlayStation 3 era that were exclusives. So that's kind of an interesting story for that game, but I'm excited to play it either way because I've never experienced it, and I don't care about what reviewers or Metacritic says. A lot of my games that I think are some of the best games of all time, Metacritic extremely disagrees with me, and so does most gamers, so I'm not too worried about it. And now, on to the end. The thing I spent the most amount of money on. We're teasing it a little bit right here. This was the Easter Lego set that you, or I guess little grab bag, that you got if you spend more than $40 at the Lego store Easter weekend. So, you know, I spent some big boy money. I've wanted this thing ever since it got announced. I didn't get it. The reason I didn't get it is because I knew I was moving to Texas and I didn't want to have to build it, take it apart, or try to transport it over here and have it break and then have to redo it. I'm not building this until I move back to Buffalo. But I finally broke over and bought the Lego Daily Bugle. This is one of those like holy grail Lego sets for me. It's this as well as the current pyramids and the Taj Mahal. I want those two. I haven't gotten them yet. I'm gonna get them. It's just gonna be some time. But also all the new Spider-Man sets they announced the other day. Oh, I'm gonna be spending so much money this summer. But I am so glad to finally have this. I'm not building it until I move back to Buffalo. But once I'm in Buffalo, before I even put together my bed, before I put these bookcases back together, before I set up anything, unbox nothing, I'm building this thing. I am building it all in one setting, which is a giant Lego set. It's like, how many pieces? 3,772 pieces, so it's definitely gonna take some time. And oh my god, I cannot wait to build this thing. Oh wait, there's one more thing. Some of you guys know this, some of you don't, but I'm a very big like cyberpunk fan. I love everything encompassing cyberpunk. I always have since I was a kid. And one of the games that really spoke to me ever since I was in, God, like middle school, which is crazy to say, is Deus Ex. And there's this sunglasses something, because I wear a lot of sunglasses. I have really sensitive eyes, so whenever I step outside, even if it's like sun's going down, I have to have sunglasses. So I pay a lot of attention to like sunglass culture and sunglass stuff. And so what I have here is a pair of sunglasses, but it's gaming related sunglasses. So the designer of this was also a very big fan of Deus Ex Machina. So he kind of designed it to look like Jensen's eyes, which obviously like this is not showing it correctly. I'm gonna turn on the upper light so you can see it fully. Like literally identical to Jensen. And you can't see through any of it. And when you look through them, the amount of polarized that they are, it looks very cyberpunky, very like retro gamey. Like, I think this looks incredible. I've been wearing them everywhere I go. I'll give you a little like modeling for them right now. These are perfect, like absolutely perfect. Like, I run in them all the time now, and it gives very big like high school principal from South Park vibes, but I love these things. So that was all the pickups from my Dallas trip. Did you recognize anything that you already had, or are you surprised at how little games I actually ended up buying? If you did, don't worry, because there is another giant pickups video coming up here in about a month and a half. Look, I have bought so much. I went on another little trip since then to a little place that I'm not going to disclose right now. Oh man, I got a stack of games like this big to go through. I cannot wait to go through that with you. So there's your little preview, your little teaser for the next pickup video. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to like and comment on it. If you are your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Try not to die, and I'll see you in the next video.